Gemini, what's going on, everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and we're coming at you guys with your mid-April 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. What do we got going on here for Team Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April 2022. What do we got coming up here for the Gemini, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April 2022. So the first card that we have out is going to be the card of Rebuild. Okay, moving forward from that, we do have here Moving On. And then lastly, for my Gemini peeps, what do we got? We got here Simply Love. Okay, so jumping into your mid-April 2022 here so far, Rebuild, Moving On, and Simply Love. It definitely seems to me like you're in a period of time where you're doing your best to rebuild after the circumstances of some sort of ending in your life. So the Moving On card is the first step to basically rebuilding your life. If you want to be able to move forward, if you want to be able to rebuild, you have to take the first step, which is moving on. After you move on from an ending, you can start to rebuild, shape, and mold your life into something completely different than what it previously was. Now, with the Simply Love card coming out over here, I definitely do feel like it is time to take more consideration into putting some love back into yourself, Gemini. You know, I think there is no shame in going towards a complete new beginning and disregarding the old life you used to live. There's definitely no shame in doing that. It actually could be quite a very exhilarating experience. So coming into mid-April 2022, I feel like your first step, which you're taking, is moving forward. You're moving on here from a cycle that's ended in your life, and that's what's going to help you start to rebuild and shape and mold your life into something new. And I do feel like specifically with this life, you want to lead it more in a more loving and compassionate kind of manner. I think that's something that happened in your past definitely caused a bit of bitterness for you, and you don't want to be carrying any of that bitterness into the new life that you're creating. It's like, why bring my past into my present when I simply want to focus on creating something brand new? So you want to lead a life with love and compassion right now, rather than bringing in any sort of bitterness or negativity that you've previously experienced in your past, okay? Let's go ahead and have a look here at your current energies for mid-April. What are going to be the current energies here for Team Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April. We do have here the Ten of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands that came out in reverse. And then lastly, we have here the Ten of Cups. So taking a look at your current energies, Ten of Wands here, and then the Ten of Swords. Yeah, totally valid thing to see. You know, Ten of Swords is about ending a cycle. Ten of Wands in reverse is about letting everything go that came with that cycle. It's about letting go of all the burdens. So you're very adamant in the second half of April here to not bring your past into your present. You're very focused here to not bring the past into your present. You want to leave all that negativity and all the rough things you've experienced in the past and keep it there. Now, with the Ten of Cups showing up here as well, I feel like this is your intention for the future. Ten of Cups is like a very awesome card. It's like the card of like the ultimate fulfillment. So the life that you're creating for yourself right now, you want it to be a wonderful life. Yeah. All right, Gemini, so I get you guys. Pretty simple read here so far. It's like I want to move on. I want to leave my past be. I want to leave everything in my past, including all those emotions I've experienced. I want to start new. I want to start fresh. I want to live and lead a life of love and compassion and create something really wonderful right now for the life that I'm living. All right, let's see what you'll be dealing with here jumping into mid-April. What are my Geminis going to be dealing with here? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-April 2022. We got here the Six of Swords. Moving forward from that, we got here the Five of Wands. We got here the Six of Pentacles, the Justice, and then the High Priestess. So, Six of Swords here to the Five of Wands. You know, based upon what it is you'll be dealing with having to leave the conflict behind. I definitely feel like the Five of Wands is talking a lot more than just any sort of sadness. I do feel like it's talking about resentments, right? Remember how I kind of mentioned that, you know, in your past, it definitely brought in some bitterness for you, Gemini. That, I think, is the most important thing that you're trying to leave behind. Because it's like, my past influenced me and it made me feel like more of a bitter person. That's not a person that I like being. That's not a person that I like representing. And most importantly, that's not a person that I want to present to other people. So you don't want other people to see you as this bitter individual. You know, somebody definitely did something that influenced you to feel that way over time, but you don't want the world to see you that way. You don't want to see yourself that way. So I think that that's the most important thing that you're leaving behind, is that energy of bitterness, because I don't want that to become who I am. You know, we do have here the Six of Pentacles. I want to be a very balanced, grounded, and well-rounded person. I want to be the individual that people look at and they're like, oh, yo, that's Gemini. That's a really awesome person. I want individuals to look at me as a genuinely good person who's living a genuinely genuinely good life. And I want to make sure that I can be as kind and good to people so that I can have that same energy and respect back. So you want to be living a life where you're putting out good vibes and you're getting those same good vibes back. And that's what you're basically focused on right now in reference to creating your future, you know, creating a life of balance. We do have here the Justice card. You know, I want a life that I deserve. I didn't deserve the things I went through. I didn't deserve the transformation that turned me into a better person. I didn't deserve anything that I experienced in my past. And as I acknowledge this, it even helps you release your past even further. Because when you start to acknowledge that you didn't deserve what it is that you went through, I think that for you, it makes it easier to release and let go, you know? I think you recognized I got caught up in a pretty rough situation. It is what it is, but I deserve to be living a great life, and I'm not going to carry that energy with me anymore. You know, we have here the High Priestess. High Priestess is a card of intuition. It's a card of your higher self. You know, what would you want to do if you could be your best self? Who would you be if you were your best self? You know, these are the kinds of questions you'll be asking yourself in mid-April 2022, and based upon the answers you receive, that's how you're going to be living your life. So I do feel like you'll be confronting, you know, your higher self here, whether you're aware of it or not. You're going to be like, well, what would be my best self? How would I be the best Gemini that I can be? And when you ask yourself these questions, you're going to find the answers really quickly. And I think that you're going to be adapting to that jumping into the second half of April here. So you really are doing your best to turn out to be the best person you can be, not only just for other people, but for you, you know? Let's go ahead and see where things are going for Gemini. Where are things going to be going here for Team Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-April 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Devil. We also got here the Magician. We have here the Seven of Cups. And we have here the Nine of Swords. So, the Devil to the Magician card. I feel like the Magician is like how you show up in the world. So, you can show up in the world as this person who has so much on their shoulders, so much weight on their shoulders, so much damage that came from their past, or you can choose to direct that into different areas in your life. What do I mean by this? Well, Seven of Cups here says, you have multiple approaches to how you can handle your trauma, how you can handle your past. You know, you can handle it in the manner of lashing out, you can handle it in the manner of revenge, you can handle it in the manner of anger and resentment, or you can handle it in simply saying, it's time for me to do better because I always deserved better all along. And I really feel like that's the route you guys are going. You know, Nine of Swords, whatever it is you experienced, guys, in your past, it definitely was really, really difficult to go through. I'm not sure if this was a situation regarding another person or a personal experience that you guys had, or whether it was romantic or anything else that you had going on in your past. It was a very difficult situation for you to overcome. And I think what's happening here for you is you're recognizing, you know, it would be valid if I let that situation continue to make me a bitter person, because it did. It would be valid if I lashed out. It would be valid if I wanted revenge. It would be valid if I was so irritated and mad at the situation that I went through that it changed me completely. It would be a total valid situation, but that's not what I want for myself. That's not how I want to appear to the world. That's not how I want to show up. Magician. You know, I have multiple other ways that I can channel this energy into something better. So instead of using this energy and channeling it into more negativity, you're looking at all the different ways you can actually channel it into something positive and healthy, which is really, really wonderful for you. You know, some of you guys might pick up different kind of outlets this month. Maybe you'll pick up something like yoga. Maybe you'll start seeing a Reiki healer. I do feel like you're going to be doing a lot of things that are good for your mental and physical health. Some of you guys might be picking up exercise, going to the gym. I feel a lot of positive outlets that you guys will be picking up here moving throughout the second half of the month, so that's really awesome. It's just like a lot of creative activities that'll help you get rid of your stress or any sort of negativity that you have built up within you. So I see you guys taking actual action here too to kind of get out all that negativity that you may have around you. All right, so as far as what I'm picking up on here moving throughout mid-April, it is a pretty general read, but what I'm gathering is that you had a pretty rough past, and you just don't want to carry that around with you anymore. You don't want that bitterness coming around you anymore. You don't want to become that person that you became after you went through something really, really difficult. You want to be a whole new Gemini. You want to be a refreshed Gemini. You want to take all that negative energy and transmute it into something positive. So you're recognizing here that with the Magician to the Seven of Cups, I can literally take all this negativity I went through and channel it into so many different positive things in my life, and that's exactly what you're focused on doing. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the spirit guides have to say. Are there any dire or important messages coming in here from Gemini spirit guides throughout mid-April 2022? Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We have here the King of Pentacles, we have here the King of Wands, and we have here the Moon card. So, King of Pentacles here to the King of Wands. It definitely feels to me like this is about taking action to become a more grounded person, because King of Pentacles is a person who's very cool, calm, and collected, but also it's a person who's very abundant. I think what you're realizing, Gemini, is like at the end of the day, my attitude towards life is going to get me to where I go. So if my attitude towards life is negative, if my attitude towards life is bitter, I'm going to continue to lead a bitter life. But if my attitude towards life is abundance, I'm going to lead an abundant life. So you're recognizing that it doesn't matter what it is that I've been through. It matters of where I'm going now and how I'm acting now and what energy I'm putting into the world right now. You know, whatever I've been through could have affected me in many and multiple ways, but who I choose to be today, that's what's important, because who I choose to be today defines my future. Hell yeah, baby. I love that for you. Who you choose to be today is what defines your future. It defines who you're going to be. So at the end of all this, you know, that Moon card is saying, hey, what you're putting out into the world, what you're feeling, is essentially what you're manifesting and creating. So if you're putting out that bitterness into the world, you can only expect a bitter future. But if you're putting out love, compassion, kindness, positivity into your world, you can expect that for your future as well. All right, Gemini? So I do feel here what your guides are trying to say to you is that if you want abundance, it's time to step into that abundant energy and really start putting that into the world around you. Okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at the overall outcome here for your mid-month. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Team Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April 2022. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Gemini? And what do we have? We have here the Strength card. I like it, baby. I like it a lot. You're a lot stronger than you think, Gemini. 110%. Not a lot of people have the capacity to turn their life around after going through a really, really rough situation. You know, most people will go through something really, really intense, and that energy will stick with them for the rest of their lives. Excuse me. A lot of people will go through really, really rough situations and unfortunately carry that resentment around for years. And when people harbor that kind of resentment, it only makes them more and more unhappy. It only eats more and more away at their soul. You know? Instead of allowing your soul to be corrupted by whatever you've experienced in your past, you decided to stand up and say, you know what? I didn't deserve what I went through, and I deserve a better life. And for me to have a better life, I have to lead a better life. Point blank period. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how far you've come. I'm proud that you chose a better path. And I'm proud that you're really working on yourself, because it's going to create a really awesome future for you. All right? All right, Gemini. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is super duper appreciated. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. If it wasn't your message, no worries, guys. There will be tons of more videos on the channel here in the future. If you're interested, check out any other awesome tarot readers that are on the platform. But with that being said, much love, guys. Enjoy the rest of April, and I will catch you all in the next video. You know, best of luck to you guys. You're on a good path. All right? All right, Gemini. Peace.